on again with you, Kamshat Aralwai. Welcome to On the High Mark where the culture connect. Today we have amazing guest from United States. She worked in and living in our beautiful city in Atyrau. Today we will talk about role of human society, values, and the culture, and much more. Let's get to know together. By the way, today's episode will be interesting. For that reason, stay with us. Hello, welcome to again. I'm very happy to see you. So, Layla, please tell us about what were your first impression of Kazakh students?
My first impression of Kazakh students, I suppose the first day that we came to university, we met some of the students in the cafe, the university, and they immediately knew who we were and why we were here, and they were just very excited to talk with us, and they seemed very motivated to not only to learn English but to make friends from other cultures. I felt like a lot of the students here honestly just feel like friends now, which has been really great.
How do you compare the study motivation of Kazakh and American students?
I don't know if I can really compare Kazakh and American student study motivation, just because, again, I teach such a small sample of students, and I'm not their primary teacher either. I'm just a volunteer assistant, so I help with the courses, but I'm not their primary teacher. I would say that in every culture, in every country, there are students who are very motivated and students who are very excited to learn, and then there are some students who are just not as excited to learn, and that's okay too. But I can't really say much about the differences.
How do Kazakh students express themselves in class compared to American students?
I guess one of the major differences between Kazakh students in university and in schools, from what I've heard, and American students is when the teacher enters the room, students stand. And in American universities, American schools, this doesn't happen. So the first time that I saw it, I was surprised. And a student explained to me that it was a way to show respect to the teacher. And I thought that it was very nice, but it's just something that I guess I'm not used to. So,
do you have any funny story from first day in university?
I guess the first day that I came to university, Of course, because it's a new job, a new environment, I wore a very formal professional suit, and I had my hair in a tight bun. And so I think when I met some of the faculty and the staff that day, a lot of the teachers assumed that I was very strict, and I'm wanting to run a strict classroom, but that's not the case at all. I just, because it was my first day, I wanted to dress to impress, I guess. But these days, I usually just wear jeans and a t-shirt or a sweatshirt or just a blouse, something casual to the university, because I don't think that I have the same, I don't want to show that I have any sort of authority with the students. I just kind of want to be there to help them learn and help them grow.
Nice. Do you think technology will help or harm students' learning process?
I think both at the same time. I think that technological growth is inevitable, and it's just something that we have to accept as part of society, part of change, part of the future. But of course, AI programs like ChatGPT, they can be very, very helpful, honestly, and I do think that they will play a very big role in the future. But at the same time, I do think that some of these programs have the potential to hinder students' growth and to harm their growth. So especially for language learners, I think that it's very important early on to stay away from these types of apps, just because your learning should come from within, and your thoughts should be your own, and especially with language, you should be expressing your own feelings, your own thoughts, and not the thoughts of the computer.
Do you use any technology, and which one use much more?
I definitely use technology in the classroom, just through presentations. I like making like PowerPoint presentations, but then also just playing games with students. You know, we have some online computer games that we like to play. Jeopardy, Kahoot, Quizlet, you know, all of the basic study tools, we also use those as well. So technology is definitely a big part of the classroom, and oftentimes we have activities where we encourage students to use their phones and to use technology, just because it is a way to keep them engaged, and that's the most important thing, is that they're learning and that they're engaged.
Thank you. Layla, what advice would you give to Kazakh students who want to study in the USA?
So for a Kazakh student that wants to study in the USA, I would say definitely do your research into the colleges and universities in the US, and definitely don't rule out places like state universities. I actually graduated from a state university, and I'm so grateful for the experience that it gave me. In a lot of ways, I think especially for international students, it's easy to see big names like Harvard and Columbia and Stanford, and of course, shoot for the stars. You should definitely apply for these schools as well, but consider what the university can do for you, not just what you bring to the university, and maybe look into what kind of labs, what kind of internship opportunities, what kind of study abroad opportunities, and just the experience that you want out of university in the US. When you're applying to these schools, consider those things, maybe do a virtual tour of the campus, explore their websites, yeah.
Great, thank you. How difficult is the university application process for international students?
I do know that for international students, there can sometimes be challenges, misconceptions, and struggles with applying to American universities, because I do believe the process is very different than the process in Kazakhstan or just in any other country. Every country has their own procedures for applying. So I would say definitely reach out to advisors on campus. You can go to the university websites, you can find resources and people to talk to. You can even go on apps like LinkedIn and find students who currently go to that university and ask them a bit about the application process. And I think that people are typically like very willing to help, and universities in the US do typically have whole departments that are dedicated to helping international students come and to like helping them do that process. So I think just using those resources that are available.
Layla, what are some key difficulties between the education systems in USA and Kazakhstan?
I think, again, that's a little bit difficult for me to concretely answer, but I can say that in the US, we typically don't have a period of study between high school and university, whereas in the US we have a lot of students I know who graduated from high school but a bit early, and then they went to college and then they went to university. In the US, this is not really a very common practice. In fact, the vast majority of students who start university in the US are all at least 18 years old, 18, 19 years old. Whereas the students in Kazakhstan are like 17 years old, sometimes even younger. So I guess that's a little bit of a difference.
How do American students prepare for future careers?
I think American students in university prepare for their future careers through taking advantage of opportunities at their university, like study abroad is a very big one. Internships, maybe like research positions, starting clubs. I think just becoming like a leader in your own right, and sort of finding like what makes you passionate, what makes you happy, and following those interests. And there are so many different opportunities available in the US, especially at universities, to pursue your own personal interests.
Which soft skills do you think are most important for students today?
I think that cross-cultural communication is a really big one, especially because we work with students from the foreign language and translation studies departments, and I do just think that is an important part of learning a foreign language, of learning a second language, is understanding the culture behind that language and the best way to approach people and to communicate in that language. And I do think that the students here have very good cross-cultural communication skills.
So, last question, Layla, for you. If you could teach one American habit to Kazakhs, what would it be and why?
I think this is a difficult question to answer because America is so diverse and we have so many people from different cultures around the world. It's known as a melting pot. So I can't think of any specific habits that I would say Kazakh students should learn from American students. I think that everything that Kazakh students are doing here works very well for them. I think it's more about the person on an individual basis. If you learn through reading things, if you learn through watching videos, if you learn from doing activities, I think that that's more something to figure out on your own time rather than something that needs to be changed in the system as a whole.
Thank you. Layla, you can say for our viewers wishes. You can say wishes for our listeners.
Okay. Sizlerge baqıtlı тілеймін.
Wow! In English, please.
Okay. I wish you guys happiness. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for joining us on HiMac. I wish you only all health and happiness. It was a warm interview. So guys and friends and our dear listeners, today's episode of HiMac. See you next time. Goodbye. Bye.